Yes, so for this session, we'll do something practical based. This is a theory session, so like we will teach you how to do the practical, then you will do the practical. So let's start. We will be making a smart dustbin this time. It's a dustbin based on a sensor. Yes, so you will be needing all this. Don't worry about where you will get these. We will send a bucket list of all of these things. Yes, it might be a bit expensive. Like you need a whole plastic bucket, and you won't be able to reuse that bucket anymore because you will be making it into a dustbin. So yes, you get it. So we will be needing. Wait. Yes, so we will be needing an Arduino Uno. No, not mini or anything
Does it
else.
have to be a huge bucket, or can it be like a smaller one?
Depends on you. How big
It
of a
can be
bucket
like
do you want?
1 foot. It should be maximum like 1 foot. Nothing more than this.
Can a
But
large
like
mug
depth,
work?
width.
Large one.
Could you repeat? Large what?
Large mug, this big mugs.
Yeah, sure, definitely. That will, that will.
And
What will the Arduino open in a mug? There is no lid.
Uh, we'll explain later. Just
are you saying a mug?
A mug. What will the what will the
I
Arduino
think
open?
he meant was a plastic one. Yeah,
I
It
Like
must
mean,
be
this bucket
like
mugs.
a vessel,
that works.
plastic vessel with a lid.
Yeah, it will work.
basically, yeah, you can use a mug, but like it's too small, right? You can't possibly do that with an Arduino Uno. So it's preferable you use a normal sized bucket, like you go to any mall near you or store near you, they'll show the standard dustbin or bucket. Just get a plastic one from there, or maybe we'll send you a link for the bucket. So then we need a distance measuring sensor. So we will teach how the sensor works actually. Basically, when you put your hand or your feet or just you come in front of that sensor, it detects your presence there, and then it opens a dustbin for you as long as you stay in front of the sensor. So we need jumper wires for the connections and all. This is the basic necessity. Then we need is a motor. This is a servo motor, this variant. So why we need the servo, we will teach you later on, now only. Then as I told, the plastic bucket, a double-sided tape roll, like you don't need the whole roll, but you need to stick the Arduino and stuff onto a dustbin, so you need a tape. Also, why tape? Because if you want to glue the Arduino to the board, you won't be able to reuse it. Maybe, or maybe you can if you're lucky enough. So we prefer tape. Then is the cardboard. Why cardboard? We will also teach you why cardboard. Then battery for powering it up. Also, you can't use your laptop to power up the dustbin. I don't know if anyone thought of that, but you can't use your laptop.
Obviously not.
Yes, it's
There's
pretty
just
obvious.
one thing, you might have already said this before, but what is a servo again? Is that the
Servo
motor
is
which we're
a,
using?
yes, it's a motor. It's the motor
We
which
have to
will
buy
control.
that, or is that the motor which we learn to solder and all that?
No, no, it's a external hardware. A motor, you have to buy that.
It's a very small motor.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Yes, so strings, this thing, strings with some kind of weight at one end. So when I made this dustbin, I usually used one. We say shuto in Bengali. So basically,
Some heartstring.
yes, I used a really light string, so it tore off every time I used. Then I had to use a plastic string, but like you don't have to use that. And some kind of weight. Now weight can be anything, a metal coin with a hole inside it, like, or maybe even a eraser will work. Like you attach the eraser with the string and hang it. It should at least create some weight so that the enough weight to actually
Pull the lid.
wait 1 minute. Mhm. strings with some kind of a weight. The weight is for the weight we need is should be enough to pull a cardboard up or down, like uh, say a eraser, and the cardboard is thicker than the eraser, or it has more mass than the eraser. So if we pull the eraser, the cardboard will hardly uh, be pulled upwards. So we need at least some kind of weight enough to pull the cardboard up and down. This is the materials that we need. I can say that unless I've forgotten something, this is all we need. So let's proceed now. Yes, so Divyesh will teach you how to write the code after this. So basically, as I told you, the sensor will be attached at the front of the dustbin, and whenever it detects a motion, the sensor will inform the motor to pull back the lid. Wait, let me screen share the servo so it will be easier for you to understand. 1 minute. See, this is a servo. You were asking now what is the servo thing. This is the motor. So we will attach the string here.
Will this motor have enough power to pull the entire lid?
Yes,
will,
yes.
it
It's going
It will.
It's a cardboard lid. It can pull.
So we will attach the string to this part and then allow the servo to pull the string, which will pull the weight that is stuck to the other side of the cardboard, hence leading to the cardboard being lifted up. It might be confusing now, but I'll show you a diagram regarding it. This is basically what we need. This will basically this is the most basic thing for the dustbin to work. Wait 1 minute. Yes. So as I told, the sensor will detect the motion at a given distance. So this will not work if you are standing at a greater distance than
Sir,
input.
will the sensor be that iron form or that sonar form?
Okay, hold on. After this class, I'll share the
It
link.
will actually just be a sonar sensor. IR sensor will be a bit dangerous to work with. That's why when you want to work with IR
Mainly
sensor
the
like that.
SR04.
What?
The SR04, man. It's SR04. Ultrasonic sensor.
Ah. Yeah, we'll be using the sensor itself because we can use the wavelength to find the distance at which.
As far as I know, it can be
There's
done.
a math function in the code. Just include that.
Okay, so the servo is informed to pull back the lid, which actually this is just the full thing it's written here. The servo will actually pull the string, which the string will pull the weight on the other end, which will pull the lid back. It works like that. Yes, so if no motion is observed at a given distance, the lid falls back. This is because a given distance is given the input in that. So if you're standing at a farther distance, then the motion will stop informing the servo. The servo will come to rest and the lid will fall back.
Okay, so here we have I made a base circuit trigger card for you guys to understand. Basically, over here we will see our sensor. Our sensor has 4 pins. One is the power, one is the ground, and one is the trigger, and the other one is the echo pin. The trigger pin is our output pin by which it will move the servo, and the echo pin is the pin by which we will be calculating the distance from which the object. Servo, the servo will also be connected as shown in the figure, and then we'll have the 9-volt battery all connected with the Arduino. You can ignore the power jack on the left side. We'll be depicting that for the 9-volt battery. You guys can take a screenshot of this, or I'll just send you guys the Tinkercad link so you guys can make the circuit much more easily. This just so you guys have a diagrammatic representation of what you guys have to build, right? I hope there's a doubt in this. This is just a picture. You guys can take a screenshot, or I'll just send it after the class. You have to use it to make your grades and everything. We will send the list only after the class. It's just 2 things: the servo and the sensor. It's like 200 per each, so not each. And you guys mostly have on the previous 9-volt battery, the Arduino. Hopefully, you should.
What will be the range of distance?
37 meters. it will be explained in the code too. You can go to the next slide.
Wait 1 minute.
Okay.
I'll give you screen share 1 minute.
I think now I have to explain the code, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just screen share. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Yep. Okay. So here I have the code. I'll explain it to you guys. So this is the code for making the lid move up once an object comes within the range of 30 centimeters on the sensor. So here, for the first time, I'm including the R servo library. You guys already have the actual library installed, so it should be no problem. So just include server.h. Then this will be defining our servo as the servo we are using has been given the name of just servo for ease. Then we have integer for trick pin, that's 10, and the integer for echo pin, that's 11. These are the pins in which our trigger pin and our echo pin are connected to. We are just defining them as variables, so we don't have to write 10 or 11 just all the time. Okay. And these are our variables which we will be using in our mathematical functions. So void setup. Acha, before that, does anyone have any doubt in all of the variables you have discussed? Or the variables you have declared? Any doubt in this? When the variable you can
What is
understand. Go ahead.
the echo pin?
Echo pin will be the pin. You see in the sensor, there are two of those, how do you call, like those two disc shape objects. Okay. Both of them will be taking the wavelength of an object, these are distance from it, and so that pin is connected to the echo pin, which is the pin we use in the, if you look at the diagram, we get that pin as, I think, pin number 11. So instead of writing pin 11 all the time, we'll just be writing it as the integer for echo pin will be 11. Okay, this is a variable. There's no such need to memorize why you're writing this. It's just for ease, so we don't have to always have trick pin or something like that. Okay. Any other doubts till now? Yeah, I guess that's none. So let's just go to void setup. Here we'll be setting up our part which done only one time at the beginning of our code. So servo is attached at pin number 9. The servo attached in the bracket, there's integer 9, that is for this pin the servo is attached to. Then pin mode trigger pin as the output and echo pin as the input. It's quite obvious. The echo pin will be taking the wavelength and the trigger pin will move the servo. I hope that's clear.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to void loop. So void loop will be the main part of the code which we should be worrying about. So digital drive trigger pin as low. This is, we are resetting the position of the original trigger pin, so it does not give any unnecessary value. We're delaying it for 2 microseconds followed by setting the trigger pin on high, during which it will start to give out the commands if and when an input is given. We will be giving a delay of 10 microseconds. This is a special function in which we don't have to write a microsecond or something. Just delay microsecond and then that's it. Then digital drive trick pin to low. This is the trick pin. Then duration pulse, comma echo pin, comma high. So what this function is doing is it is telling our echo pin, that is the pin which will be taking in the wavelength of the distance to calculate which wavelength it is coming to a. So the duration is the time period of it. Like I said, you guys understand what duration is. This command is basically to check for this sensor to check the wavelength of the function, right? Or to check the wavelength that is inputted. This is our input. This part, the pulse in echo pin comma high, right? And this is the mathematical function, that is the distance from which that is the distance that we're defining for which the object should be in the range for. So we're taking the wavelength, the wavelength, the sound, the time taken by the sound will travel, and we are dividing it by this constant to get a certain distance. This is actually a mathematical function. We are using the E equals to our P function. It's not to learn that much. Just these two lines to find the distance at which our object is. So till now, what we have done is that telling the sensor to check how far this object is and to find out how much or what is the distance that the object is from a sensor. So does anyone have any doubt in these parts? Just these 6 lines. 7, sorry. Just these 7 lines. I'll take that as no doubt. So I'll be
No
going
doubt.
over to. Okay, I'm going over to our if and else statements. So last class we learned about if and else. So there's a while statements, but we don't need all statements in this one. So our if sentence here is if distance is less than 3, that is if the object is say less than 30. If the object is in a distance of less than 30 centimeters, give me one. Okay, so sorry, I have a problem. Anyway, we're going over to our if statements. So if first if statement is if the distance that is calculated over here is less than 30, that is 30 meters from a sensor, we will be giving it the command to write on the servo to turn at a distance or turn at an angle of 180 degrees, so it will just go all the way back. And it will keep continuing for a delay of just 3 seconds, just for the sake of it. And if not, so if the distance is more than 30 centimeters, then that means if you're not near the bucket, then it will just not turn anything and it will stay at 0. So these are basically telling that if the distance is this, just move the servo. If not, you keep it as is. I hope this part is clear. These functions, the servo.right, it is just to tell the servo to move at a distance of to turn at a distance of this angle. And yeah, that's why we're using a servo instead of a motor, because we can control the angle at which it is bending at. So that's all about the code. You'll be seeing the guys this code after the class is over. You should at least try to attempt to write the code on your own, rather than just copy pasting it, because that's the best way to learn. Anyway, and that's about it for the code. Back to Amrita.
Yes, so I'll proceed with the practical part now. So this part, it's specifically hard, the first part, that is on the dustbin. So we need to cut holes on the front of the dustbin, 2 holes such that they fit the sensor correctly. And this part took the most amount of time. I didn't have a solder kit then. Wait 1 minute. Yes, I didn't have a solder kit then. You can use a soldering pin. I used an instance stick to cut holes in that bucket.
How big do the holes have to be?
Wait, I'll show you a picture. Wait. See, you can see this.
Yes.
Yes, so see the eye thing. This is a sensor. And so what I
An
did was,
ultrasonic sensor.
yes, this is a sensor which will sense the motion. And what I did was place the sensor on the surface of the dustbin from inside, even though it was not perfect. Like it's that the dustbin is a spherical thing and sensors are flat. So I basically took a rough thing and used a white marker to mark the area and just made a hole around that area, like 1 or 2 centimeter around that area. And then I fit the sensor in it. Like surprisingly it worked and the sensor doesn't come out, but like if you make a bigger hole, then don't worry, you can just use tape to fix it in there. And be sure to not mess up this part, since if you mess up this part, the dustbin will have 2 holes and basically you might have to buy another one. So next part is wait. Yes, so after we have made 2 holes and put the sensor in that module, it will look like 2 eyes from the dustbin. Then all the components like the circuit diagram that was shown. This circuit diagram, this whole thing, this is a sensor, this is the eyes, this area. Wait, you can see my cursor. This, can you see the cursor?
Yes.
Yes, this is a sensor. This will be the eyes. These 2 will be the eyes.
I have a doubt.
Yes, to tell.
Instead of using this one single 9-volt battery, I have a battery case that fits in 4 pencil AA batteries. So will that be useful in this project?
Yes, it should be.
Depends on the power.
As long as you can route the wires to the correct ports, it should work.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the sensor connected to all the apparatus here. This will be the Arduino. Now you might be wondering why this is there. This is just to upload the code. This isn't supposed to be there. This is just for the code. Once you upload the code, you have to remove this. This is the servo motor, like I showed the picture, and this is the battery. This whole thing, excluding this thing, will be inside, like the bottom of the or the back side of the dustbin. These all will be pasted there. Now, mind you, I told pasted because we will be using double-sided tape, and we won't be just storing them there, just placing them on the bottom, because when we throw stuff in the dustbin, it might break the Arduino. So we are done with the inside stuff now. So next part is take a cardboard cutout. Now I'll suggest that you buy a white colored cardboard because it looks better. I myself used one brown color and pasted a A4 size paper or white color paper on top of it to make it white colored, and then just let my brother color it for me. Yes, so just a cardboard cutout. Now the size, you will take your dustbin, flip it over, then place it on the cardboard and trace it. Then just cut with scissors or paper cutter, whatever you want. Now you have taken the circle from the cardboard. Next part is cut it in half. Here you can cut it if you can cut it in half. You cannot. You may not cut it in half as you want. Wait, my English is messed up, right? Yes, so you may or may not cut the thing in half, depends on you. But if you cut it in half, the weight will be much. The weight required will be much less than if you don't cut it in half. So I prefer you cut it in half. I did the same thing and then just tape the two parts again, just as
Can't
it was.
we just not cut it in half and have the
I
whole
just told
assembly
you
lift
you
the
may or may
entire
not.
lid?
It will take a lot more force for you to just pull the bent part up rather than if you take the
It's
flip
cardboard,
point by
right?
the
Like
thin
you need
tape.
to bend the cardboard every time.
Exactly.
No, not
Art
the
paper
bent
hole, you
cardboard. I
can.
meant instead of doing any cutting and stuff, we could just leave the lid as is and have it lift the entire lid up to expose the
Adiman, no?
entire dustbin.
That
That
will take too much force and won't be practical.
no, I
Uh,
think it's not being practical
we
right
have
now. It's Adiman.
exactly. That's a different part. But if you cut the lid in half, then that will be a much more feasible option because it will work out much more efficiently. Longevity of the thing will increase. Except just cut it half. Just do what we're saying. If you want to, you can, but don't come back.
Is it
Yeah, I guess
possible
it
that
makes
you
sense. The
all
range would also be
show
weaker
us
if we
this
made the
practically?
entire lid
Yes, we
put
will
up.
show you the
I
practical.
am actually not home this week, so next week maybe I can show you guys.
Next class,
There's not
Signesh.
really a unique portion. You can just search it up and you can get hundreds and hundreds of images of it. It's not that hard to understand. Just try and do it by yourself. That's the
But like we don't prefer searching it up. Do it yourself. If you don't understand, then that's a different thing.
yeah. Then you have just contact us. And yeah, all those people who keep calling us on WhatsApp, please don't just use Discord.
Yes, so we cut the cardboard in half after making it into a circle. Then we tape the two halves, like from the area where we cut it, we just piece it together and tape it. Now remember, don't use very tough tapes. Use just cellophane tapes so that it will be easier for the cardboard to bend. Like we wanted at the final phase to make a right angle, so you get it right. Then we attach one half of the object on the bucket, like one half is bent over at 90 degree and another half is just the base. So we take the base. Now here comes the work of glue gun. Well,
One second. Same link after class. Right?
like I showed you, like I told you, one half will be placed on the bucket, other half will be hanging. One will be stationary, one will be in motion. So the stationary part, just place it on a dustbin, trace it out with a small marker, and just use glue gun or any other super glue to and glue the area which was marked. Then place the stationary part carefully. Now this part should be done very carefully, since even like 1 centimeter of the motion part should not be pasted down. So only one half of the dustbin should be pasted, other half should be in motion. Like paste it and see if you can move it till 90 degree. Don't move it beyond 90 degree. It might tear. Yes, so I stopped. I think I stopped here. After what we have to do, we attach the stationary part of the cardboard to the dustbin's lid very carefully. If you mess that up, it might not work. Not even 1 millimeter of the part in motion should be stuck. So I'll actually send the picture of my dustbin, what I did. And don't worry, I also messed up with lot of stuff. I had to redo the whole string part again. I had to put new batteries every day. So the next thing is the servo will be tied to the string which I told you with the weight. The string will be tied normally to one hole of the servo arm. The arm has like 5 to 6 holes. The farthest hole should be tied with the string. Make sure tie it tightly, or it might just open. It won't most probably, but it might just open. So if you have tied the servo, before tying the servo, you should bring the before tying the servo, you should bring the string from under the lid, so that when you after you have tied it, you don't have to attach the weight again. And to bring the lid, you have to make a hole inside the motion part. Like you might have guessed that, or else how would have bring the string. So where the part will be the part which will be pulled up, there should be a hole there, small hole, small enough to actually just allow the string, not the weight. Just pull the string from there. Use a septive to pull the string from the other side and tie it with the servo hand. Then uh, make sure you have attached the weight before. Now after you have done, you should be able to move the arm up and down. And as you move the weight, अच्छा, as you move the arm up, the lid should go up as well. So this is the thing I messed up once. I made the string too long. So when I pulled the string, the weight didn't come up at all and the lid didn't open. So you should actually do a lot of trial and error so that you get the correct length. Now we actually don't know what length will be fine for you, since the dustbins may vary. So just check it out, try it yourself, which string brings the lid up.
Could you like send us a video of this prepared project so that we know like how to go about?
Yeah, sure. I'll send mine only. Okay, so this is basically what we need to build the exterior, a hole in the dustbin so that the sensor module can stick out as the eyes of the dustbin. Then the component should be stuck inside the dustbin. Make sure that the components are stuck inside before you place the lid, because I stuck the lid before placing the components and it was a real hassle. Like I had to move stuff and the lid tore off. I had to redo the whole thing. Then we take a cardboard cutout of the top of the bucket, circle, then we cut it in 2 halves, then tape it back so that it makes a 90-degree turn, not more than 90 degree, not less than 90 degree. Then we attach one half of the object on the lid of the dustbin such that one part becomes stationary and one part is in motion. And then we bring the string through a hole in the motion part so that when we pull the string or the servo pulls the string, the weight helps us move the lid up and down. Also, if the weight would not be responsible for bringing the lid down, it will just be gravity. So make sure that the tape isn't strong that the lid once pulled up will not go down. Okay, so this is a rough diagram of the top of the lid. As I told, this whole thing. The circle will be the cardboard, and this is the cutout from the center. Again, taped back, like as I told, the stationary part will be this part. Now, some things to remember: the servo will always be on the stationary part, or else how will it work? The stationary part should always control the servo. Now, what I did was I actually glued the servo. The only part I glued was servo. Rest I taped. So I glued the servo on the stationary part, then attached the arms and attached the string from the part which will be in motion. It has a hole here. This hole, the string will go through this hole and then will be attached to the servo. So when you pull the string, the object is here. Wait, can I annotate here? Yes, so the object will be here. Object is here. This is the string. We pull the string from here. The string is pulled. The object comes closer over here and it pulls the lid upwards. When the servo does, the arm falls down, the string falls down, the object falls down, and with gravity the lid falls down. If the lid isn't falling down, try reducing the glue on the tape. It might help. This is basically how the servo and the string will work. If you want a video, I'll send the video of how this works in motion, like the opening and closing of the lid and what I use to make the weight, also a string. Any doubt here?
So like one half of the lid would move and the other would remain stationary.
Yes, this part, the part will be servo will be stationary. This won't move at all. Like even if you pull, it shouldn't come out. And this part should be always in motion. Like if you pull it up, it will come up, and if you just leave it, it will fall down. The glue should be this is how I took the measurement. I placed this part on the dustbin. I marked from here and here, and I just glued from here to here. Then I just carefully put it on the dustbin, and it worked. But you may mess up this part, as you actually need measurements to do it properly. So this is basically it for this class. If you have any doubts, let us know. We will share the list of all materials that we shared today, like at first, and we also might send you that optional materials like glue gun and stuff. Although we did send you all that before. Then a video on the project will be showed. A practical class will be done soon, next class most probably, and after that a deadline will be announced and you have to submit the project yourself. Like, don't just do it for the deadline and marks and stuff. Just enjoy doing the stuff. You won't regret actually making this. It's a nice project. It's a useful one actually. Also, if you have faced any difficulties while making the dustbin,
A single battery will last for how many days?
for me it
In
lasted
this-
for 5. It varied. I don't know why it varied, but it varied. Once it lasted for 5 days, once 1 week, once 1 day only. So maximum it will last, I think, 2 weeks. So yes,
That's
that
a
is
relatively short
con.
period. We can't use a power bank instead.
Don't use a power bank. If you want, it may apply your Arduino. I won't recommend it. And just use manual.
This is a con actually. So actually you can nah, never mind, you don't. I was going to say you use a main power supply for that, but don't. Yes, so try to stay active on the server. Please don't just see WhatsApp. Submission will be after the practical class. We will share the deadline as we told. Now,
One more thing I forgot to add. If you guys buy the stuff now, make survey and write the code without the assembly part. Like, just show that if an object is between considered from the sensor, and if you show how it works, then it will give you half marks for now. Just as a safety. It's not compulsory. You guys can do it just for practice, for something to do for you. But after the practical is over, you can send it. No pressure.
You can actually try it before assembling the parts, like attach the
Yeah, like send it on the like keep it on a cardboard note for assembly. Just send us a circuit and it's a
like attach a string to the cardboard. You don't even have to make the cardboard moving and stuff. Just attach a string and show that the arms are moving and it's connected to an Arduino. That's the whole thing, right? The server pulls it up and down and the sensor works. So as till date, we made a channel in the Discord server, but it doesn't seem to work that well. So from now, we will take submissions in form of Google Drive folders with your video, text file, and name class section as given. Now, don't make the folder public at all. Like if someone else comes and deletes your stuff, we are not to be consulted for that. And only give us give access to step heads. We'll share our email soon. Don't make the folder public into. If stuff is gone, we don't know. We'll share emails in the official Discord server. Soham Nandi is trying to join now. I'll not admit him now.
No. He tried to enter last class and I said check only he didn't enter.
Yes, so any doubts regarding any slide?
What was the helicopter thing? Like the one.
Doubts will pop up once I like see the actual previous video.
Like the actual thing, the dustbin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send my.
Like
Okay, I'll send
the previous
my.
class.
Also, what was someone was asking some helicopter thing? What was that?
It's like the blade thing in the circuitry.
Okay, this right. Yes, this is a servo.
Yes.
This thing, this white thing is the arm. Like I was telling you, the holes in the arm. These are the holes. The thread will go through one of these holes, preferably this one. It will be attached to this hole. This arm moves like this. It goes there. It moves in a 90-degree form. It actually moves more, but we'll use till 90-degree only. This is not a helicopter. This is the servo motor from a top view or a side view rather. Any other doubts?
The cross-looking thing is the servo. What is the groovy-looking thing at the top then? Divyesh sent a picture of this with servo written on it.
Those are the eyes. Like they look like eyes. They are the eyes.
Right, the sensor, right.
Yes, they detect the motion. Like if you put your hand in front of these sensors, the servo will start working. This is why Divyesh told you to like attach the servo with a string and make the whole circuit like this, and see if when you put your hand in front of the servo, if this sensor, the servo is going up or not. At first, Shankar Prusti, okay. At first, the servo might start going up and down without you putting your hand in front. It happened with me as well, but don't worry about that. Happens. Yes, any other doubts? People who didn't do the last project, please do.
What was the last project again?
I think it was
motor, yes. The motor go in front.
The motor turns for 10 seconds and
anyway, that's actually all for today's class. Does anyone have any questions? I don't think we have prompted. No, nothing important is left. We'll be ending the meeting right now. So that's all it for session number 5. We'll be seeing you again probably next week. I will probably won't be there. Shiman will be taking the class. You will be doing the practical. Clear out the idea of how you should do a project, and if you can do it earlier, that's perfectly fine too. Keep the materials ready. It's not that costly this time. Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for taking the class. We'll see you next time. Bye.